The following is a presentation of CBC Sports.
A legend in sport is like a work of art. Their greatness a thing of beauty, a sight to behold. And there is also the next generation, the legends in the making, those whose performances foreshadow the years of magic that lie ahead. In the blink of an eye, a career flashes by. So enjoy these shooting stars before they're gone. A jewel on the South American landscape. Over time, Rio de Janeiro has established an unmistakable mystique. It is a city with heart and soul, one of the world's great destinations. And now, as it continues its journey as the host of global high-performance sport, the legacy of Rio is in the making. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rio 2016, the Paralympic Games on CBC, day number 8. I'm Scott Russell. At this level, sport is one of the great spectacles of the world. It has the focus of the entire Earth's attention, and it has so many stories to tell. The greatest characters are the superstars who have the ability to light up the stage by their performances. Tonight on the show, we have such superstars. Okotoks, Alberta, and Zach Medell. He's rugged and the rock of Canada's wheelchair rugby team as they take on Great Britain. Tonight we have a Canadian swimming rocket on the rise. Aurélie Rivard lights it up in the 400-meter freestyle. And tonight we have Canada's Big Ben, Benoit Huot, in what is likely his last race at the 2016 Paralympics in Rio. Why don't we dive right in and get to swimming at the Olympic Aquatic Stadium. The S10 men's 400 meters. It features the man I was talking about, Benoit Huot. He's a Canadian Paralympic swimming legend. 19 Paralympic medals in his career, 9 of them gold. Can he get 20 tonight? We'll see. It's the S10 classification. And to get a read on it, this edition of Para 101 with Stephanie Dixon.
S10 is for freestyle swimmers with a low-level weakness affecting one leg, moderate impairment of the hip joint or feet, high degree of impairment to one foot, or minor limb loss. These swimmers have to correct minor instability within their stroke pattern.
Para 101 is brought to you by the Paralympian Search. Are you tough enough to become Canada's next Paralympian? Go to paralympic.ca to find out.
This is the men's 400 freestyle S10 final. Going in lane 6, one of the greatest para swimmers of all time, the great Benoit Huot, 32-year-old, 19-time Paralympic medalist, 9-time Paralympic champion, an all-round good guy. Brasil, Harrison Murray, Dubrov, Kripak, Taken, Huot, Vanzenko, and Crothers representing Australia, the second Australian in the pool. 3 Ukrainians, a Brazilian, a Canadian, and a Dutchman. On lane 1, Andre Brasil gets off to an inspired start, but in the pool it is Kripak showing the speed alongside his compatriot Dubrov. Kripak goes in 3, Dubrov goes in 4. Have they gone out just a little too hard here? Harrison Murray, who likes to chase early on, is going out in a rather more controlled and subdued fashion, which is the smarter approach, but he's still going out relatively fast between Brazil, who looks to be chasing it, and Dubrov and Kripak, who are first to touch at the wall in that order. Dubrov first, 0.05 of a second behind him is Kripak on the turn, and already the Ukrainians looking good, looking well ahead of any other swimmer in the pool now, bar maybe Brazil, but they look like they're swimming within themselves. They do not look like they're chasing it out hard. They do not like they're going to burn themselves out.
Well, that first 50 was 26.8 seconds. That gives you an idea of why this pair is in front, because they were absolutely firing that first 50 and have tried to open up just a slender advantage, about a body length on the rest of the field. The two Ukrainians very much swimming in unison at the moment and looking extremely strong.
Well, Kripak at the moment is only 0.04 of a second ahead of Dubrov, and Dubrov is possibly better on the turns and sometimes faster in the pool. It's difficult to judge at any given time. They do have bursts of energy, both these swimmers. Dubrov is probably the fastest of the finishers, but indeed Kripak has got some incredible abilities to break into a lead. They are now well in front. Benoit Huot of Canada is making a charge from lane 6, while Andre Brazil is hanging on in lane 1, trying to fight for that bronze medal at the moment, because the gold and silver, if they go at this rate, are going to be to Ukraine. We don't know in what order, because Dubrov and Kripak are basically swimming side by side as if this were a training swim. They seem to be in a league of their own right now.
They do. The last two 50s have been between the 30 and 31 second mark, so they're keeping a very, very quick pace, it must be said. So the Canadian moving well into the bronze medal position, but don't forget about Andre Brazil, and don't forget that he has the Brazilian crowd behind him, because they're going to be wheeling him home. He's swimming in lane 1, right next to the grandstand, and they will be cheering. Expect that to build throughout the race. But you're right, look at this, well, clinical display from the two Ukrainians swimming together, it seems.
Well, it is very impressive at the moment. They look like they're in a training swim at the moment, in a very fast pace here. Maxim Kripak and Denis Dubrov of Ukraine side by side. Benoit Huot is going into 3rd place now, well ahead of Andre Brazil, and that's sort of new to the crowd at the Olympic Aquatic Stadium, but Vas Tucken is trying to go with Benoit Huot. Gold medalist as far back as 2004 in this event, silver in 2012 is Huot, and a man who has got such an incredible career behind him already. A man who has done so much more than simply para-swimming. Started at Benoit Huot Foundation back in 2009. He does so much to help other para-athletes, not just in sporting spheres, but in academic spheres as well. And a man who only a handful of years ago completed his degree in marketing, communications and administration in Quebec. And a man as well who's done a great deal for African para-athletes. Has travelled to the continent on numerous occasions. Right now, though, they're in a league of their own. Swimming a 3:29.89, Kripak touched ahead of Dubrov at the 350 split by 0.03 of a second. And let me tell you how fast this is. Look at that. They are so far ahead of world record pace, it is not even funny. It is going to be a world record by a most substantial margin. Kripak, as if this were a training swim, and he had everything left in the tank, touches in a mammoth world record time. 3:57.71 ahead of Dubrov, and Benoit Huot with an historic 20th Paralympic Games medal. That was out of this world. Two Ukrainians have just blown the field out of the water. Maxim Kripak in a world record 3:57.71. Denis Dubrov a 4:01.11, and Benoit Huot of Canada, the bronze medalist.
The highlight result for Canadian swim fans: Benoit Huot takes bronze for his 20th Paralympic medal as he makes the podium for a 5th Paralympics in a row, going all the way back to Sydney 2000, when he was 16 years old. He's with Stephanie Dixon.
Benoit, you are a legend, 20-time Paralympic medalist.
One more than you, finally.
9 of them are gold. Will we see Benoit Huot compete in another Paralympic Games?
Oh, I wish. you know, I love this so much, and I love training, I love competing, and I wish I was 20 again. But I think it would be very difficult. 4 years is a long time. I'll obviously reevaluate after these games. But I just wish I had the energy and the support from my family and Annie back home. But if it's not in the pool, I'll do everything to be around the pool and around the Paralympic movement to try to make it grow and stay connected and increase awareness, because it's my passion, it's my life, and it's my mission.
Benoit, congratulations on such an incredible finish to these games, and Canada is so proud of you.
I'm very happy. Thank you, Steph.
Still to come, the superstar of the pool, Aurélie Rivard, races in the 400-meter freestyle.
I want to win gold, that's for sure. I want to do my best wins. Since I know that I've done it before, I know I can do it again.
The Rio 2016 Paralympic Games are brought to you by Canadian Tire. We all play for Canada. By Bell, accessibility just got better. And by CIBC, banking that fits your life.
Hello there. You are now one of the lucky people in this world to call yourself Canadian. Welcome aboard. You'll grow up doing things we all do, or you'll do your own thing. Either way, you're a doer. Your heroes will inspire you, but you'll find ways to inspire yourself. That's important. You'll love your home, but its borders won't be able to hold you. You'll push out to see the world. One day, you'll wake up 6 hours ahead, or 8 hours behind, or here. Maybe to prove yourself. Maybe because you're needed. Maybe to show off your big, bad, super-powered brain. That'll be you flying the flag. And when you leave, they'll remember that smart, helpful, confident, tough Canadian. So we thank you in advance for making your mark. The world needs more Canada. Let's bring it to them.
Blood pressure's down.
Less stress in my life.
How so?
I got myself the new CIBC Smart account. It's a totally new way to bank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I only pay for what I use. And my monthly fee is capped.
I'm glad you're so relaxed. It's going to make this so much easier.
Happy thoughts.
Introducing worry-free banking with the new CIBC Smart account. CIBC, banking that fits your life.
Right now, you don't know my name. You might not even care to know it. That's because you haven't seen me on the Olympic stage. Yet. I'm Alex Tugas. In Rio, I'm not part of Team Canada. I'm part of tomorrow's Team Canada.
Since 1988, Petro-Canada has supported over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls.
I pick up a broken comb, running through my favorite hair.
When the best of us steps up,
Though I don't have
our nation stands a little taller. We all play for Canada.
Our people do not back down from a challenge. From the mountains to the ice. We do not wilt. We do not crumble. We do not fear. We train. We fight. We win. Because the only thing better than red and white on your chest is red, white, and gold. Let all other nations know and tremble. Canada is coming.
Welcome Welcome back, Rio 2016 and the Paralympics on CBC. Moments ago, Benoit Huot, bronze in the 400-meter freestyle. A great race, landmark. Benoit's parents, Gilles and Lucie, in the crowd, reacting with passion and with pride. And Benoit embraces them afterwards. What a marvelous moment for the family to celebrate Benoit Huot's magical career. Just great. 20-year-old Aurélie Rivard setting a course for a landmark games, gold in the S10 50 free, gold in the S10 100 free, silver in the S10 200 IM, plus a world record and a Paralympic record. Now the 5th race in her busy program, the S10 400-meter freestyle. Dwayne Deloca and Amy Brainbridge call it.
This is the final of the women's 400-meter freestyle S10. But the reigning world champion finished second to Lorandi in London 4 years ago, but is back vastly more experienced and already has 2 Paralympic Games gold medals in her bag. Oosterhuis, Murphy, Christina, Rivard, Pap, Lorandi, Jablonska, Roulet. Rivard gets off to a very good start, so too in lane 5, Bianca Pap. Chases just a great intensity from the Hungarian swimmer. And Rivard is showing some early intensity herself, so too Lorandi, it must be said. Now, what she wasn't doing in the morning heats that we're noticing with Lorandi now is just the way she's kicking. That's some great leg work being done by the reigning world record holder. She's clever, she knows how to swim this, and she would have conserved her energy. Maybe knows that she's only got one really great 400-meter freestyle in her on any given day, so sparingly use the power that she generates from her legs in the morning session, because we're seeing a much faster rate of kicking in this final from Lorandi, and that has put her in touch with Rivard, who will notice her every time she breathes to now her right as she comes down into the 100 wall. At the 100 split, it might just be the defending champion Lorandi who touches first.
But may well be Lorandi just having a beautiful second 50 there, timing that turn perfectly, and she has touched in first, so it's a 104.69 for the 100. It was a 33.6 for the 50. So they've only slowed the tempo ever so slightly. Interestingly, compared with the men's race, they don't take it out quite as quickly in that first 50. But look at this, they're almost swimming in a perfect line across the pool, the two, and it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. Both swimmers looking extremely comfortable at the early stage. Well,
Murphy is starting to move up now into contention. It's Rivard who touches first at the 150 split, just ahead of Lorandi, and Murphy not far behind, while Cristina of Mexico, and a little battle between her and Jablonska for 4th position overall. And don't discount Pap, currently 6th as well. She's got the ability to swim a stronger back end and can swim negative splits. We've seen that already from the Hungarian in recent times. Now, Rivard, can she impose herself on the defending champion, the world record holder? But the reigning world champion, Aurélie Rivard, will touch. Well, it's going to be less than half a second indeed, 0.36 of a second, exactly a second ahead though of Monique Murphy of Australia. So Murphy has improved so tremendously over the last year, has taken nearly 10 seconds off her time over that period. Looking for a medal here. She also swam rather conservatively in the morning. Pap is dropping off the pace. Jablonska, though, is not. Cristina is also starting to lag ever so slightly. And the Polish swimmer might be putting herself into medal contention, because Lorandi is allowing herself to be caught as Rivard extends an advantage at the 250 split.
Yes, she is indeed. So she's gone from being level with Rivard to dropping back substantially. It's going to make her job very, very difficult. Meanwhile, it's Murphy in lane 2 who's looking very strong. She's found a great rhythm there. Still 2 body lengths from the leader, who is Rivard, who's having a, well, very comfortable, almost looks as though she's too comfortable. It looks like she's doing it so easily. She's going to touch in well in front at the 300-meter mark, and it's a very tough ask for the remainder of the field to catch her from here.
And she's on world record pace here is Aurélie Rivard. So she is swimming a fine race, a smart race. Monique Murphy, Ellery Lorandi, and at the moment, Olivia Jablonska of Poland are the challengers for the silver medal position, because right now, edging up towards the 350 split is a very, very quick Aurélie Rivard. She's going to touch well ahead of world record pace here, and you can expect to see another world record in the pool on the night at the 350 split. She is not only going to claim the Paralympic Games title, she's going to do it in some style here, the 20-year-old Canadian. Battle for silver between Monique Murphy, Elodie Lorandi. Murphy is making a real charge in the closing 25, while Jablonska and Lorandi are battling it out neck and neck for the bronze medal. But right now, it's all about Aurélie Rivard, the 20-year-old. Gold in the 50, gold in the 100, gold in the 400 free in world record time. The battle for silver, though, continues. It's going to be Murphy of Australia ahead of Lorandi. But Rivard with another sensational swim, scintillating, absolutely captivating in the water throughout these championships. The world record by 3 odd seconds to Aurélie Rivard, who is reigning world champion and now Paralympic Games champion in the 400 free S10.
Triumphant gold to Aurélie Rivard. That's her 3rd gold medal, 4th medal of the Games. Again, a world record, her 2nd of these Games. The breakout superstar in the pool at the Rio 2016 Paralympics. Here she is to reflect.
Yeah, well, usually in that race, I'm never out first. You know, I'm first at 50 meter because I have the strongest dive, but after that, I'm usually, you know, with the mass, I stay with everybody, and then on the second 200, then is where I really like power up and just go for it. But actually, it's Ben who told me that just before the race that if I would flip first at the 200, no one would be able to follow me in the second 200 because I have the strongest second part of the race, and that's what I had in my mind, and that's what I did, and it worked out pretty well.
How good is she? More swimming tomorrow, live streaming at cbcsports.ca/Paralympics. The morning session at 8:25 a.m. Eastern, finals 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Aurélie Rivard swims again in the 4x100 meter medley relay. Up next, athletics as we go the distance on day 8 of the Paralympic Games from Rio de Janeiro. Stay with us.
The Rio 2016 Paralympic Games are brought to you by Petro-Canada, supporting over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls since 1988. By CIBC, banking that fits your life. And by Air Canada, official airline of the Canadian Paralympic team.
You remember the moment. Adversity staring down at you. Fear of failure as universal as your drive to victory. You have faced that adversity, conquered it. Used it to silence a world that wants to define ability. You've proven you're able to win, to inspire, thrive. You've worked just as hard, pushed just as far, overcoming the doubts all athletes face. There is no despite, only in spite of. You're here because you deserve to be. All your life you've known it. Victory against adversity defines you, but no one can define your adversity. You have shown the world that you are not here to just compete. You are here to win.
Blood pressure's down.
Less stress in my life.
How so?
I got myself the new CIBC Smart Account. It's a totally new way to bank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I only pay for what I use. And my monthly fee is capped.
I'm glad you're so relaxed. It's going to make this so much easier.
Happy thoughts.
Introducing worry-free banking with the new CIBC Smart Account. CIBC, banking that fits your life.
I pick up a broken comb, run it through my favorite hair.
When the best of us steps up,
Though I don't have
our nation stands a little taller. We all play for Canada.
I'm sure you have no idea what my name is. That's okay, because you haven't seen me anywhere yet. But my day is coming. I'm Virginie Chénier. In Rio, I'm not part of Team Canada. I'm part of tomorrow's Team Canada.
Since 1988, Petro-Canada has supported over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls.
He isn't the largest or heaviest powerlifter in the world, but there's little doubt that Siamand Rahman of the Islamic Republic of Iran is the strongest. Rahman, 28, the defending Paralympics champion in powerlifting's 107-plus kilo class, came to Rio with two objectives: to win gold again and to lift 300 kilos. At Rio Centro Pavilion 2, Rahman, who set the world record of 296 kilos in February, accomplished one goal on his second lift, hoisting 300 kilos. It was a battle strictly between the bar and how much weight Rahman could manage. On his next attempt, he added 5 more kilos, and for good measure, he went one better, successfully lifting 310 kilos, much to the delight of the Rio venue audience. Rahman, who weighs only 169 kilograms, lifted the equivalent of 3 baby elephants. Strong man, big heart, heart of the games.
Heart of the Games is brought to you by Canadian Tire. We all play for Canada.
Welcome back. Faster, higher, stronger. It's the name of the game at Rio 2016. We're on our way back to athletics, and we'll go trackside to feature some of the longer distance races. All of them, including the 5,000 meters, require tremendous endurance. T13 classification first for the men, and the Canadian contender is a 30-year-old by the name of Guillaume Ouellet. He has enough vision to run without a guide. He's the 2015 Athletics Canada Para-Athlete of the Year. Guillaume Ouellet, visually impaired runner from Quebec City, raced in the men's 5,000 T13 race at Olympic Stadium. The 30-year-old Ouellet won the World Championships in this event last year and also won a Para-Pan Am Games 1,500-meter gold in Toronto. Ouellet wasn't able to keep pace with a tough field in this one. Kenya's Henry Kirwa ran a personal best for the gold medal. Ouellet wound up 4th in 14:54.07 seconds. Right now, here's Guillaume trackside.
Finish 4th. Did it go as you expected?
Of course not. I was definitely expecting a medal. I was the world defending champs, also ranked pretty high in the ranking. But 3 guys today was just stronger than I was, so it didn't went as I planned. Like 3 guys went out really hard. I tried to be relaxed and try to catching on them if they were like maybe slowing down, and that was the case. But I went out maybe a bit too fast, so I wasn't able to close the gap.
Women's T54 5,000 meters, 45-year-old Deanne Roy of Sherbrooke, her 6th Paralympic Games. For the past 20 years, she's been coached by Jean Laroche, along with Peter Erickson, one of the foremost coaches in wheelchair sport. To the race now with Matt Hill and Will Downing.
Tatjana McFadden is the world champion formerly in this. Sue Lee Hong, the reigning world champion. Amanda McGrory has held the world and Paralympic titles in this previously. Commonwealth Games silver medalist over 1,500 meters in Glasgow in 2014. She won the gold in the 15 previously in Delhi. Former marathon world champion from 06, Diane Roy of Canada. 12 and a half laps of the track, and Diane Roy crossed the line first in 2008, but they had to do a rerun. There was a massive crash in that. We're underway. Shaw, Roy, De Rosario, McFadden, Margie, McClammer, Zhu, McGrory, Fonseca, and Wallengren. That's the lineup for this women's 5,000 meters final. 3 from the United States. China well represented with 2 on the board, and looking to make little push on straight away. At the back, Manuela Schär is leading for Switzerland in winning medals of major championships since 2004. Madison de Rosario right back alongside. Her first major championship medal actually coming in Beijing in 2008 when she was only 14 years old. Based in Sydney, coach Louise Sauvage, and it's de Rosario in front now, Schär alongside. You just look at a little bit of movement up there as well, with Diane Roy in 3rd place. Big cheers for Maria Fonseca Chavez in 4th. A little bit of movement from the Americans beginning to start as well. They have 3 in this. They got all 3 medals. Gold for McFadden, silver McGrory, and bronze for McClammer in the 1,500 meters final. Expect a lot of cat and mouse early on, although McFadden in the semi-final did look to break the field, and she did very quickly. McClammer has made the move on the outside. McCrory's behind her, and McFadden's behind her. That's interesting. 11 laps to go.
So McClammer, who was the silver medalist in the 400 meters, joined by McGrory on the outside as they leave the straight. Shire de Rosario behind them, then Roy on the outside of Fonseca Chavez. Now here goes McFadden. McFadden's going to try and catch her country women napping here, and she has done so down the back. So going to the lead is McFadden.
The American superstar on course will pick up the race when we return to Olympic Stadium. Still to come, Brent Lakatos takes to the track in the 800 meters, an event he's the reigning world champion in.
It's been such a long journey, and I've done everything I can. The chair is the lightest it possibly can be. I've cut weight. I've done everything I could.
The Rio 2016 Paralympic Games are brought to you by CIBC, banking that fits your life, by Petro-Canada, supporting over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls since 1988, and by Canadian Tire. We all play for Canada.
Hello there. You're one of the lucky ones to call yourself Canadian. You'll have heroes, but you'll find ways to inspire yourself. You'll love your home, but its borders won't be able to hold you. One day, you'll push out to see the world, make your mark, and fly the flag. And when you leave, they'll remember that smart, helpful, tough, confident Canadian. The world needs more Canada. Let's bring it to them.
Introducing an amazing lineup of accessible devices from Bell, like the hearing aid-compatible Doro 824 with a friendly and intuitive interface. With a tactile keyboard overlay, the Doro 824C is designed for those who are blind or have low vision. Chocolate. It even reads text for you. Plus, the Tekla fits to any wheelchair, so it can work hands-free. Bell. Accessibility just got better.
Blood pressure's down.
Less stress in my life.
How so?
I got myself the new CIBC Smart Account. It's a totally new way to bank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I only pay for what I use. And my monthly fee is capped.
I'm glad you're so relaxed. It's going to make this so much easier.
Happy thoughts.
Introducing worry-free banking with the new CIBC Smart Account. CIBC, banking that fits your life.
Today, we've invited a group of youngsters to the ranch.
Do the cows ever go in the house with you? What's it like to be a rancher? Is it true that cows jump over the moon?
Cows like to travel in S's.
Do you have to work every day?
That's right.
Do you even have to work on your birthday?
Great food grows in Canada. That's why McDonald's only serves Canadian beef.
Shuttle bay doors open. Copy that.
It's a rogue.
3, 2, 1. Ignition. We have liftoff. Throttle up. Landing complete.
It's a Rogue.
The 2016 Nissan Rogue, the compact SUV with all the space you need.
I am babysitting tonight.
You're joking.
I wish I was joking.
But you hate kids.
That's correct.
Oh my God. Can I watch or videotape?
No,
Can I bring friends?
No.
Marriage is hard. Being married to Mrs. Kim is the hardest thing I ever do.
What's hard?
Nothing. Being married.
Hardest thing I ever do.
That's what I say.
Why you say that? You is not married to you.
You is not married to you.
Welcome back to Rio 2016 and the Paralympic Games on CBC. Check us out on social media at CBC Sports. Now back to racing, T54 5,000 meters as the women bring a long haul home.
So they come down the straight with 2 laps to go. Shire can't get away from McFadden. McRory on the back of McFadden, the place to be. McClamanix the inside. Di Rosario needs to see some daylight. Covering her at the moment is the Chinese athlete in Zhu. Ma's getting a perfect sit on the back of her as there's movement now by McFadden as they continue their journey down the back where the leader is Shire. McFadden's trying to surge away from her at this point, and they are going stride for stride. McClamar's worked into it really well. Stamina sapping stuff here. And then Di Rosario on the inside of McRory, and then the 2 Chinese. But McFadden has gone to the front narrowly, but Shire is giving her a terrific race on the inside. She's being extremely courageous. And on the outside is McClamar, moving up now to silver medal contention with a lap to go.
Look at this at the bell. It's McFadden leading them out. McClamar behind. McRory going 2 on the outside. And Shire looks spent. She's in 4th place. De Rosario's trying to go with them in 4th. Now it's De Rosario up in 4th place. USA 1, 2, 3. That's what the rest of the field absolutely fed. It's McFadden leading. It's McClamar in 2nd place. McRory 3rd. De Rosario staying up with them in 4th place. And Shire in 5th. This is where the goal's going to be decided in the next 200. De Rosario's the only one who looks like he can deny a clean sweep, and she's trying to do it on the outside. It's Jana McFadden leading them out. Now they're spreading out, and it's McFadden in the lead. In 2nd place, it's McClamar. It's McRory in 3rd. De Rosario on the outside. Can she pull it off? It's McFadden, McClamar, McRory. It's the Mac half trick again. De Rosario on the outside in 4th place, and the Chinese come through in 5th and 6th. Zhu Nihong and Mao Jing, but they've done it again. They worked it brilliantly. De Rosario knew what was coming and couldn't prevent it. And the United States have done it again. Wollongren coming home right at the back. But everybody knew what they wanted to do, and the United States have gone and done it again. Tatjana McFadden leads home the American 1, 2, 3. McFadden, McClamar, McRory, the 1, 2, 3. Shah, a broken woman by the end in 8th place.
Tatjana McFadden wins her 3rd gold of the Games, a 2nd American sweep, 7th for Deanne Watt, 6-time world champion who has won 5 Paralympic medals over the course of her remarkable career, became a mother for the first time last summer, just prior to the Para-Pan Am Games. Here she is with Rob Snook.
Deanne, that was 5,000 meters of up and down and back and forth. Tell me about it.
That was so hard, and you know, I think about the last year, and I think I didn't do a lot of that kind of speed. I remember I was in Indianapolis in June to make some standard, everything, and so I did the 5K with the same girls, and each lap that was 29, 29, 29. But today that was slow down, and 28, 29, slow down, and I was at the back, so it's, you have less time to, when the one start, you have, it's so that was hard. But I'm very happy because I came back every time. That was hard, And the last lap, I passed one Chinese, so I was happy just to do that and to try the best as I can. That's it.
Brent Lakatos enjoying his most successful Paralympics, his 4th Games. 2 medals, silver at 400 meters, T53. His wife, Stephanie Reed of Great Britain, won long jump silver. They've got a bit of a bet on, and it looks like she'll have to wash a few dishes. That's because Brent Lakatos came to Rio with 3 silver medals on his Paralympics resume and immediately added gold in his first race on Friday. Lakatos rolled to victory in 14.44 seconds, just off the Paralympic record of 14.43 he set in the heats. But the world record holder and world champion secured his first Paralympics gold medal. Now at the stadium, he goes for gold again. T53, 800 meters. He lives and trains in Loughborough, England, coached by Peter Erickson. But Lakatos rolls for Canada. Once again, Will Downing and Matt Hill.
The final of the men's 800 meters, T53. The second strongest category of wheelchair racing. World record held by the former world champion. He's had a busy week. This is his 4th final. Josh George. A race which features 3 men who have been world champions in their career. Former Paralympic champion as well. Reigning Asian Games champion. Gold already in the 100 meters here, and silver in the 4 for the 3 times world champion from Doha last year, Brent Lakatos of Canada. The man has been winning major championship medals since 2000. Gold in the 200 in Sydney, and gold in the 2 and the 8 in the Swansea Europeans in 2014. That was Pierre Fairbank of France. Gold in the 400 here, and silver in the 1 for Paya Pongsakorn of Thailand. Pio, the 400 champion, Lakatos, the 100 champion. Meet in the final of the 800 meters. Seaman at 1, Aladwani 2, George 3, Pio 4, Fairbank 5, Lee 6, Young 7, and Lakatos in lane 8, who shot out way in front. Good work from Fairbank in the light blue of France. Skips in front of Lee. Lakatos hits the front. The man who finally won a Paralympic gold in the 100 meters. But silver in the 4 behind Pio, and he'll be looking to make a good move as well. Little shift on the inside from Fairbank. Lakatos alongside in 2nd place. Good work from Simon of the United States, shooting out on the outside, and the Thai tucked in at the moment. Here we go, the Thai going firmly out on the outside. There's the bell. Fairbank going out in front. Lakatos fighting hard for Canada as well. Seaman stuck on the inside. Little bit of work coming also from Pio. Now he's moved over the outside, and also for China, it's Lee. It looks as if it's going to be very, very tight. It couldn't be anything else than that. Pio going on the outside. Lakatos stuck on the inside. Right behind Fairbank of France. As they hit the bend, the former European and world champion, Pierre Fairbank, is going to have to fend them off from all sides. He might just do it. Pio's coming on the outside, and he's going to take it. He's got it again. Fairbank in 2nd place. I'm not sure Lakatos even took 3rd in the end, but Paya Pongsakorn of Thailand does the 400-800 double for Thailand. The 19-year-old, 140.78. Fairbank in control for a lot of that, but it's a silver medal for the Frenchman. He was looking for his first Paralympic gold since 2000, and Lakatos did take the bronze. He just squeaked it. 141.09. Seaman 200th behind in 4th place, but Fairbank looked for a long time as if he was doing everything right, and then Paya Pongsakorn, who must have got out into lane 4, had other ideas for Thailand. Here he comes. Fairbank just missing out in the end. Pio gets it, and Lakatos on the outside did take 3rd narrowly from Seaman in 4 and George 5.
It was a terrific win by Peo, and hasn't he had a tournament? Winning the 400, silver medal in the 100, and now the gold medalist in the 800, and that's still with a relay to come, the 4x400.
And Peo has 2 golds and a silver now. Lakados the complete set, a gold, silver and a bronze for Canada. And Fairbank, well, he was almost in the same position as Marcel, who going out in the front and almost able to smell the gold medal. He won the 200 meters at Sydney 2000, but no Paralympic gold since. And look at Peo go. The teen sensation from Thailand rockets out in front, and they have another gold medal. It's been a great games for Thailand, just as it was in the World Championships last year. Peo takes it 140.78. Fairbank the silver for France, 140.97. Lakados by 200s takes the bronze to Canada from Seema.
What a race. Bronze, Brent Lakatos, his 3rd medal in Rio. Lakatos was originally recruited to play wheelchair basketball at the University of Texas. He's become one of the premier wheelchair racers in the world. And here he is with Rob Snook.
Brent, you come to the games, 3 medals, 3 events. What's your feeling right now?
Yeah, well, we still got 1 more to go, so it's not done yet, and the relay is an important one. But yeah, there were lots of surprises at these games, and I'm really happy that I was able to get the gold in the 100. And the rest didn't go quite according to plan, but it's still been a successful games, and so I'm happy.
You got a whole package of medals. Tactically, is there anything that you maybe could have done differently?
Well, that was a really difficult race because I was in lane 8. And so I only had 2 choices, go to the front and go to the back. And going to the front, I know I can control things a little bit, even though my strength is not my endurance. And going to the back, it's just a coin toss as to what happens. And so I chose to go to the front, work a little harder, and I still got a medal, so that's good.
Athletics tomorrow, the morning session, 8:50 a.m. Eastern, finals at 4:25 p.m. Eastern. By the way, Brent Lakatos, 1 more race, the T53 4x400 meter relay down the road. The flame burns bright when we come back. A variety of Paralympic updates as Rio 2016 continues on CBC.
The Rio 2016 Paralympic Games are brought to you by Air Canada, official airline of the Canadian Paralympic team. By Bell, accessibility just got better. And by Petro-Canada, supporting over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls since 1988.
My name may not be known across the country, but when you see me compete in the Paralympic Games, the country will see all it took to get me here. I'm Sabrina Duchesne. Today, I'm part of Team Canada, but first I was part of tomorrow's Team Canada.
Since 1988, Petro-Canada has supported over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls.
Blood pressure's down.
Less stress in my life.
How so?
I got myself the new CIBC Smart Account. It's a totally new way to bank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I only pay for what I use. And my monthly fee is capped.
I'm glad you're so relaxed. It's going to make this so much easier.
Happy thoughts.
Introducing worry-free banking with the new CIBC Smart Account. CIBC, banking that fits your life.
I pick up a broken comb, running through my favorite hair.
When the best of us steps up,
Though I don't have
our nation stands a little taller. We all play for Canada.
Introducing an amazing lineup of accessible devices from Bell, like the hearing aid compatible Doro 824 with a friendly and intuitive interface. With a tactile keyboard overlay, the Doro 824C is designed for those who are blind or have low vision. Chocolate. It even reads text for you. Plus, the Tekla fits to any wheelchair, so it can work hands-free. Bell. Accessibility just got better.
Hello there. You're one of the lucky ones to call yourself Canadian. You'll have heroes, but you'll find ways to inspire yourself. You'll love your home, but its borders won't be able to hold you. One day, you'll push out to see the world, make your mark, and fly the flag. And when you leave, they'll remember that smart, helpful, tough, confident Canadian. The world needs more Canada. Let's bring it to them.
Welcome back to Rio 2016 and the 15th edition of the Paralympic Games on CBC. Sitting volleyball. This Canadian team has made history, the first to compete at any edition of the Games. It's been at the Paralympics for women since 2004. Canada won bronze at the Para Ams in Toronto last summer. Their final match is against Rwanda. Here are third set highlights. Canada up 2-0. Michaela Breeze and Clayton Lucas have the call.
Canada certainly enjoying the volleyball as they're 2-0 up at the moment, one set away from victory. Somehow Rwanda kept it off the floor, and a really good scramble to send that one deep, and it's landed on the baseline, and Rwanda have the lead. Really good play.
Well, Mordru and Peters both went for that. Four, 5. Point now, that levels the scores at 5 apiece.
Oh, that's a lovely dig.
Well, leave it, they shout as they cover the back of the court. And now Ellis to serve. 9-5 up. An attempt. A spike. Sandrine didn't come off. A lovely spike.
Super spike, Canada!
Oh, absolutely smashed it down.
Lead is getting bigger and bigger now. Nice ball in. Good defense by Canada, but it doesn't fall kindly for the rest of the team. And Rwanda have the ball back. Just as happened in all the other sets, really. Canada getting a big lead, then losing a run of points and making things a little bit tricky for themselves. And it's still continuing here. This is brilliant from Rwanda.
I sense the lack of focus again with the Canadians. It's been a bit of an up and down game for them in terms of focus. Well, picking up a point now, that could be critical. 20-13.
Well, it's a brave effort from Rwanda. They hustled well, they kept the ball alive.
They don't need 9 match points. One of them will do. Another one eludes Canada.
So shouts of out. Canada decided to play it. It's a net touch against Canada. 3 match points now saved. Ball, there was a long wait by the referee as to whether or not that ball had hit the block and gone out or hit the net. He's decided it hit the net and went out without catching a Rwandan player, and they've saved another match point.
Wow, this is an unbelievable run of points, the most exciting that we've seen from the Rwandans.
And that's it. Canada wins in 3 sets.
It's all over. Canada have done it. They've taken the third set. They've taken the match as well by 3 sets to nothing.
Also today at Lagoa, the continuing debut of para canoe. Beautiful sunshine for the paddlers during the Paralympics. Rowing and canoe kayak at the Olympics were both affected by high winds. More rocky weather today. And with the story of 2 Canadians involved in very close races, Christine Gauthier and Aaron Scarf, here's Stephanie Dixon.
A loud and enthusiastic crowd gathered under sunny skies for today's finals. Rowers I spoke with told me that conditions were ideal for this morning's warm-up. However, by race time, winds at Lagoa had picked up. Christine Gauthier was first up for Canada in the women's KL2 final. Having to race twice yesterday to earn a spot in the final gave her the opportunity to fine-tune her performance. Despite taking over a second off of her semi-final time, Christine found it difficult on the water today. She crossed the line in 4th place behind the winner, Emma Wiggs of Great Britain.
The wind changed just before the race. It's unfortunate because it was perfect, just a little front this morning, and it's changed to a 9 o'clock complete sideways right now, and this is the worst possible condition I can have for me with my disability level. So.
In the women's KL3 final, it was Erica Scarf lining up for Canada. Like Gauthier, she also had to race twice yesterday in order to make the final. Erica improved on her performance and maintained her placing, coming in 7th today, behind British gold medalist Anne Dickens.
Going into the race, I felt pretty confident. I know I've been training for a few years and my training has been going well all year, but this morning I didn't feel that great. I was feeling a little tired from yesterday, but at the start line I just forgot about all that and just really focused. It was so awesome to be able to race here, and it just motivates me to continue with the sport, and I see what the top level is like, and hopefully I'll be on the podium soon enough.
Now that the canoe sprint medals have been presented at Lagoa Stadium, a new sport is officially part of the Paralympic Games.
Montreal's Alison Levine was the only Canadian to advance to the quarterfinals in the BC4 mixed individual classification for boccia. Last summer, the 26-year-old won a silver medal in mixed pairs at the Para-Pan Am Games. Today, she faced Thailand's Pomchok Larpien. The game went back and forth and was tied at 3 in the 4th set before Larpien scored the winning point. We learn more about Alison's training program in this edition of Team Next.
Everything I do is bocce related. Training on the court, of course, is very important for physical skills, but I supplement that with aquatherapy, yoga, mental performance exercises, and massage therapy. The CIBC Team Next athlete program is an amazing program that supports us financially, which every athlete definitely needs financial support, but it's much more than that. It's a community. I have 66 other athletes who I can reach out to at any time. They're my friends, some are my training partners, and it's just great to know that no matter where you go, you're supported by this family. It's important to have a mentor, especially when you're in an individual sport. I would have no idea before I was an athlete what it takes, and your mentor can help you prepare for that unexpected, can kind of tell you what could happen, and it's great not feeling alone.
CIBC Team Next is brought to you by CIBC. Banking that fits your life.
Keeping a close eye on Stephanie was the man who got her into boccia, Marco Dispaltro. He, like Stephanie, competed in wheelchair basketball and rugby before turning to boccia. Dispaltro shared that Para-Pan Am Games silver with Levine last year and was thrilled by her play in Rio. Still to come, Zach Medell and Team Canada meet Great Britain in the second game of round-robin action in wheelchair rugby.
Never been booed before. I don't mind being public enemy #1 here. I mean, the more I hit people, the more they booed, and the more they booed, the more I hit people.
The Rio 2016 Paralympic Games are brought to you by Bell. Accessibility just got better. By Canadian Tire. We all play for Canada. And by Air Canada, official airline of the Canadian Paralympic team.
Hello there. You are now one of the lucky people in this world to call yourself Canadian. Welcome aboard. You'll grow up doing things we all do, or you'll do your own thing. Either way, you're a doer. Your heroes will inspire you, but you'll find ways to inspire yourself. That's important. You'll love your home, but its borders won't be able to hold you. You'll push out to see the world. One day, you'll wake up 6 hours ahead, or 8 hours behind, or here. Maybe to prove yourself. Maybe because you're needed. Maybe to show off your big, bad, superpowered brain. That'll be you flying the flag. And when you leave, they'll remember that smart, helpful, confident, tough Canadian. So we thank you in advance for making your mark. The world needs more Canada. Let's bring it to them.
Blood pressure's down.
Less stress in my life.
How so?
I got myself the new CIBC Smart Account. It's a totally new way to bank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I only pay for what I use. And my monthly fee is capped.
I'm glad you're so relaxed. It's going to make this so much easier.
Happy thoughts.
Introducing worry-free banking with the new CIBC Smart Account. CIBC, banking that fits your life.
Chances are you don't know who I am. You don't recognize my face and you haven't seen me compete. But one day you will. I'm Alexandre Corriveau. In Rio, I'm not part of Team Canada. I'm part of tomorrow's Team Canada.
Since 1988, Petro-Canada has supported over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls.
I pick up a broken comb, running through my favorite hair.
When the best of us steps up,
No, I don't have
our
any
nation stands a little taller. We all play for Canada.
Congratulations. You got your first front page.
What's the point of this? I don't care. It makes me feel good.
Oh, it's huge. Everybody's doing it.
Okay.
You're gonna be a father.
What? Oh, no, I'm not gay.
Sometimes gay take time.
Welcome back to Rio 2016, day number 8. I'm Scott Russell. Team sport is becoming a huge part of the Paralympic program, and winning a lot of hearts is wheelchair rugby. They also call it affectionately Murder ball. It made its games debut in Sydney in 2000. Canada has been on the podium at the last 3 Paralympic Games, but they've never won the gold medal. The matchup today, the Canadians take on Great Britain. The Canadians are 1-0, the Brits are 0-1. And to set it up, here's Rob Snook with the Canadian coach, Kevin Orr.
Thanks, Scott. And Kevin, your team scored 3 times in the first minute last night. Was that an early indication for you that you guys were on the right track?
Well, I think the guys came out on fire yesterday, and I think we're really going to need to do that throughout the tournament, playing well, especially in front of the home crowd.
In terms of the overall game plan, you know, the coach often sees things that the rest of us don't see. Any items of concern last night?
Well, I think the idea is that we need to play a complete game, and I think the idea is that sometimes you get into the atmosphere instead of executing what we need to do, and I think our guys need to be on task today, and they need to play a full game.
Was there a sense last night that maybe they didn't quite get the full game in?
Well, I think we may have underestimated Brazil a little bit, and I think the idea is that you can't underestimate anybody, and we need to go out and play our style of play if we're going to win.
I have no doubt that you scouted the Great Britain team yesterday. They had a good effort against Australia. What is the scouting report on them? What challenges do they present?
Well, they match up very well with us. Jim Roberts matches up with Zach Medell. I think there are other players match up very well with Mike Whitehead or Ian Chan. I think the idea is that we need to be able to rotate our bench. Trevor Hirschfield and Zach Medell are going to be key to us winning, but our support players are going to need to come in and take care of some business too, so we can't just rest it all on Zach.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Canada won handily over Brazil in their opener. Great Britain lost narrowly to Australia, the reigning Paralympic champions. The match takes place at Karaoke Arena number 1 with the call, Brent Hope.
And this, the next match in the wheelchair rugby, Great Britain taking on Canada. And Canada, the host nation, is their victory that they record in their opener in day 1. They look good, but both of those teams playing an exciting brand of wheelchair rugby. The officials in place. The fans are loud. All of the ingredients now for what will be a little bit of a heated affair. It's going to be Whitehead who takes it down. He is the big, powerful Canadian. He moves it up to Medell, and right away you're seeing that 1-2 punch that they go to. Whitehead, who has that strength, he's got that height to be able to extend for the ball, and he'll just release Medell. Medell is a road runner. Basically, against anybody in the world, you'd throw him in a matchup, and I'm still debating who I think is the quickest between Riley Batt, number 3 in Australia, and equally what we saw last night from Braz in the first matchup for Brazil. But this will be Roberts who scores for Great Britain. So these 2 opening scores belong to the biggest scorers most likely in this matchup. So day 2 of the wheelchair rugby. And the release pass into Whitehead in the central position. So he occupies really the middle of this floor, of this field. He's got to be careful not to go over that center line. The over and back call would be called against them, as Medell, he fights off a couple of British players, and then he takes it across the goal line. So inside that 8-meter distance between the 2 points is where they must score from. And each player with a level of function that is denoted with the numerical value that effectively makes up their classification. And this for Roberts. He takes it right across the line. So Roberts in his first Paralympic Games. And he, 29 years of age, he participates in those World Championships where Great Britain finishes 5th. But it doesn't always run to form. What's on paper and equally what happens out here on the field of play. You need to be careful there that they don't give that ball back a little too early, because you've got to fully be in play. They've given it up here. That's the presence of the Canadian side, particularly Whitehead, who is a bigger player, the biggest one out on the floor right now. Medell, who will race with anybody, but he also likes to play physically. He bumps Roberts back there. He scores again. He really is like an Energizer bunny. He just does not stop. And not as many smiles on his face today. He was really enjoying it in day 1 against Brazil. It was alive and electric in this building, and it will build throughout the course of the day when the host nation participates at the end. It's deliberate. And with inside of single digits now. Roberts is going to make a pass over the back, and it's across the line with both wheels, and a little spin out as well from Walker. So he's got 3 goals. Good balance so far. We're seeing from Great Britain as they go 3 ahead, and Canada need to respond because you just cannot allow these turnovers, and surprisingly they've done it again. Roberts will take that one away. He's got a Land Rover with 4x4 action on it as he just rototills his way across the line one more time, and this a little bit surprising right now. Canada are getting worked over as it will be a second bounce into Medell, and they've just been a little bit loose turning this ball and giving it to GB on these inbounds, and you have to be calculating and very efficient. They move it in. It's Coggin into Walker. Much better ball movement today from GB. It's back now to Walker. He's got Buta. They're advancing it too quickly, and Medell, no matter how fast he is, he can't move as quick as that ball. Hirschfield will come in, and he adds some defensive support. Offloaded, good accurate passing. GB is on the money as it's tic-tac-toe, and another goal is scored. Those were in Finland. Whitehead now powering forward, and they do need just another option. It's too much right now, the Zach Medell show, and that'll dry up. I have to say that Medell is really being threatened to be closed down by anybody, but it's a team approach right now from GB that's more potent. Ayaz Buta performing better in day 2 as well in the second matchup for GB. Long pass into Whitehead. He's going to have to spin. He gets away, but he's got 2 of them. He's going to ram himself into Roberts. The offload up. Rather, that was the good work there from Medell originally. And this into Whitehead. He has to bounce it or pass it every 10 seconds in order to keep the possession alive. He has gone a long way around. They have 40 seconds in total on the shot clock available to them. Knocked it down. Medell has done well. He'll come all the way back if he has to. He's right up against Roberts. These two are basically the mirror of each other. Medell protects it, bounces it to himself. He's got Whitehead up forward, Beletsky and Hirschfield doing some cross blocking. And now it's about clock management. I think Medell knows that he's got the sights set for that line. They've been able to wrap up Roberts because Roberts is tiring out their top scorer for Canada. So that's the job that the other athlete's doing. Good work there. They've done it again twice. Hirschfield and Beletsky take out Roberts. And inside this last 10 seconds, they're trying to just wait and manage his clock down. So there he does, take it across the line. It's within 1. It's exactly what Canada wanted. They assert themselves in the last 90 seconds, perhaps. Roberts is not going to give it a turnover. He's going to hold on to it, and he gives it back to the referee. So it's got a little closer at the end. They were ahead by as much as 3. I think they were up as far as 4 at a point was GB, but the opening 8 minutes, Great Britain just with their nose ahead, 15-14 over Canada. This will be a thriller from beginning to end.
Canadian fans there to support David Wilsey's mom and dad, Jean and John. And Zach Medell's dad, Garrett, is also in the house. The Canucks are in for a battle against Great Britain. Back in a moment with more rugby.
The Rio 2016 Paralympic Games are brought to you by Canadian Tire. We all play for Canada. By CIBC, banking that fits your life. And by Bell, accessibility just got better.
You remember the moment. Adversity staring down at you. Fear of failure as universal as your drive to victory. You have faced that adversity, conquered it. used it to silence a world that wants to define ability. You've proven you're able to win, to inspire, thrive. You've worked just as hard, pushed just as far, overcoming the doubts all athletes face. There is no despite, only in spite of. You're here because you deserve to be. All your life you've known it. Victory against adversity defines you, but no one can define your adversity. You have shown the world that you are not here to just compete. You are here to win.
Blood pressure's down.
Less stress in my life.
How so?
I got myself the new CIBC Smart Account. It's a totally new way to bank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I only pay for what I use. And my monthly fee is capped.
I'm glad you're so relaxed. It's going to make this so much easier.
Happy thoughts.
Introducing worry-free banking with the new CIBC Smart Account. CIBC, banking that fits your life.
I pick up a broken comb, running through my favorite hair.
When the best of us steps up,
So I don't have
our
any
nation stands a little taller. We all play for Canada.
My name may not be known across the country, but when you see me compete in the Paralympic Games, the country will see all it took to get me here. I'm Sabrina Duchesne. Today, I'm part of Team Canada, but first I was part of tomorrow's Team Canada.
Since 1988, Petro-Canada has supported over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls.
Welcome back to Rio 2016 and the Paralympic Games on CBC. Canada and Great Britain embroiled in a Group A wheelchair rugby match at Para08 Arena #1. Number 33 red, Zach Medell, the baby-faced assassin from Okotoks, Alberta, came out firing in Canada's first game against Brazil. He scored after just 13 seconds, tallied again 26 seconds later, and then after a steal, made it a hat trick within the game's first minute. Medell wound up with 38 goals in Canada's 62-48 win, and now a day in the life of Zach Medell.
The Paralympians, brought to you by CIBC.
When I was 10 years old, I contracted a staph infection. I was an inpatient in the hospital. I was there pretty much all day, every day for the first 2 years, going to school at the hospital, doing my physio there, just trying to find myself a normal life again. First time I played wheelchair rugby was February 2011. I'd been a basketball player before that and was approached a few times by players that were involved in both sports. And my parents got me involved in soccer when I was probably about 2 years old. Lacrosse was my main sport before I had my amputations done. We realized early on that the biggest thing to help overcome this was to get back into sport. It was such a big part of my life beforehand, and we figured we'd use that as a tool to kind of get through things. You get to go out and crash around and chuck a ball around, like hang out with your buddies, and it's just even like that's therapeutic mentally as it is physically for us. So today I got in a little bit of light cardio, hopped on the hand cycle, and then on the stationary bike to get the legs working a little bit. Yeah. So like I inbound to one of you guys.
Yeah, and then like I'll have the ball and Jeff will have the ball, wheel around under it, and Cody will have speed and come and hit like right there.
You're good, pick it up. Stay with it. There it is. Nice grab, Jeff. You got Casper. Bump it. Get on top. Nice, Casper. Good angle. Take that sideline. Get a piece of him. We have a target on our backs because right now we're the #1 ranked team in the world. Couldn't ask for a better team than the one I'm playing with right now. I think that's played a huge part in our success. It's just we're so closely knit and we spend so much time together that we have that opportunity to bond. And I think because of that chemistry, it really helps us on and off the court. Hit's coming, Casper. Send it. Nice hit. I've always liked to look at myself as the underdog and just not be satisfied with where I'm at. I mean, there's always some little things you can work on and improve on. And so I don't want to be satisfied and just plateau. I want to keep going with things and see how far I can get. There it is. Boom.
The Paralympians is brought to you by CIBC, proud partner of the Canadian Paralympic team.
Underway now in the second quarter of 8 minutes. 4 of them obviously making up the 32 in full play. We would, if there was a tie at the end, we would keep going into 3-minute scoring or into the extra play, but we haven't required that as yet. There have been close matches, but this for Roberts into the scoring area. They cannot occupy that more than 10 seconds, the offensive players. So Caldwell goes into Medell. And this maintaining of the lead is a big mental thing equally as well for Great Britain. They've not trailed. Yes, it's been level, but they've been able to come back as Medell records the 17th point. And you do just feel that it is going to come down to just a moment or two, maybe a couple minutes in one of these periods where you fall asleep, you just don't execute. Almost Walker, that's a great play to come up with it. They've done well to get Buta though, and tracked it back. Caldwell one-on-one defensively here, doing his best. And are they suggesting there's a penalty there? They almost had Buta up and out of his chair, but he will score this one. And it's into Medell, so each one of these possessions is key. The big hit coming from Roberts. Samard will protect that one down, 37 years of age. And where will the next advancement come from? Medell is putting a block out there on Buta, but you need to come back and help your personnel. He does. He swings around the end. And he's just run out of real estate on the backside. Inside is the pass to Samard, and there now a little bit more distribution in the scoring. The whistle from the referee. They've put the 18 on the board, but let's just watch it here again. The feed internally. He was in good shape, and then Buta just knocks it out of his hand there at the end, and the referee was just suggesting to Ayaz, no need for that. We've got this game under control. We will reinsert the ball. Walker, he's having a great game as he just takes this forward. He shows some tremendous speed. Pack of 4 right now. Caldwell has been that number 2 to him. He's been sensible. He's also just been smart defensively, working hard. He's got a goal, but there's 14 goals so far of the 19 coming from Medell. 1 from Caldwell, Hirschfield, the co-captain, Samard with another one, and 2 from Whitehead. But Whitehead is waiting to return to action. Caldwell can't quite get to Buta here, and Ayaz is having a great game so far. So he with 5. Caldwell is indicating where he wants Medell to open up to, and Medell's got enough space there and equally distanced from the 2 tracking British players. He'll go right across the line. This is where Canada are looking to try and dispossess GB. They've been so smart, and with the ball management so far of Buta and equally Walker, you count on Roberts, but it's a better showing right now. This is giving, that's a great move, so clever, just dipping around the defense. And Buta with good energy, speed, and body control. This is Roberts. The cross field play, much better. Whitehead is out there. He's a heavy body. He just takes up a little bit more space. And also he's got a reach to maybe try and dislodge that ball if it's in your lap. Medell waiting for Roberts. They're going to try to come here over on Belitsky's side. But Whitehead, he'll control a good chunk of that 4 meters. They've turned it over. This is what they were waiting for. A race for glory, and Canada will pluck this one. It's a cherry off the cherry tree. And that, a moment that they had really needed for the last 8 minutes or so at the end of that first quarter, and that's what Whitehead will give you. He's a big maple leaf tree, and he knocks and shakes off a little acorn for the Canadians there. So is that telling as we come to the end of this first half of play? Belitsky with that long chair. Oh, they've opened up for Roberts, almost a beneficiary of the over movement from the Canadian defenders. He just spun around. But this, every time now, it's Canada's turn to try and just nudge ahead. And GB have been good. Walker and Roberts are all over Whitehead. The offload. The ball movement is king. Position is also king. And can you execute passes right into Whitehead? And that is as easy as they will come. It just drops right into the breadbasket. And he puts it across the line. So inside this last minute, the Canadians will be just happy if they can make Great Britain work for it. They don't want to make a mistake, and they would love to be able to finish this half with their nose in front. They've worked so hard from being behind throughout the majority of this opening 16 minutes. Now Buta, he wants to manage the clock. They've got 16 seconds exactly, so there's an 8-second disparity between the shot clock. And what they'll probably try and do is bring it right down, and maybe they'll call a timeout, but they have utilized the bunch, and they're going to get across the line. So that's a score. Medell is going to cross block. Whitehead is a big logger. He takes it across one more time. Well, he owns the road if you're going to be on it. Once he gets rolling, he's going to be tough to stop. And Canada have just got to a 2-4 pack of points by the end of the opening 16 minutes. And it was tight against the Australians, Great Britain, and it's equally as tight as bark to a tree in this one, as Canada will take the lead at halftime over Great Britain, 24-23 in the wheelchair rugby. This is Group A action.
Canadian fans out in full force. The Caldwell family supporting 28-year-old Cody, parents Liz and Dave. Grandma Maria's along for the ride. We'll hear from Cody after the break as wheelchair rugby rolls on in Rio.
The Rio 2016 Paralympic Games are brought to you by Petro-Canada, supporting over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls since 1988. By Air Canada, official airline of the Canadian Paralympic team. And by CIBC, banking that fits your life.
Hello there. You're one of the lucky ones to call yourself Canadian. You'll have heroes, but you'll find ways to inspire yourself. You'll love your home, but its borders won't be able to hold you. One day, you'll push out to see the world, make your mark, and fly the flag. And when you leave, they'll remember that smart, helpful, tough, confident Canadian. The world needs more Canada. Let's bring it to them.
Introducing an amazing lineup of accessible devices from Bell, like the hearing aid compatible Doro 824 with a friendly and intuitive interface. With a tactile keyboard overlay, the Doro 824C is designed for those who are blind or have low vision. Chocolate. It even reads text for you. Plus, the Tekla fits to any wheelchair, so it can work hands-free. Bell. Accessibility just got better.
Blood pressure's down.
Less stress in my life.
How so?
I got myself the new CIBC Smart Account. It's a totally new way to bank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I only pay for what I use. And my monthly fee is capped.
I'm glad you're so relaxed. It's going to make this so much easier.
Happy thoughts.
Introducing worry-free banking with the new CIBC Smart Account. CIBC, banking that fits your life.
Today we have some kids coming to our farm to learn about potatoes.
Who wants to learn about potatoes?
Me! Let's go! What is it like to be a potato farmer? Where is the potato tree?
Guess how many potatoes we harvest per year?
10 million?
It's closer to 36 million pounds of potatoes every year.
Where's the ketchup plant?
Great food grows in Canada. That's why McDonald's only serves Canadian potatoes.
Some guys live to get things done. And we've built their official truck. The all-new Nissan Titan XD. With a Cummins diesel engine, it can tow over 12,000 pounds. The Nissan Titan. The Titan of trucks. Now with up to $10,000 in standard rate finance cash.
When I come home at the end of the day with my hat and my heart in hand. When I come home at the end of the day, just promise me we'll be alright.
A lot of our teammates have almost been like coaches too, or mentors for me coming up. So whether it was Dave Wilsey and Garrett Hickling, they're kind of my Ontario coaches, but also teammates on Team Canada. So they've been great. Veteran guys have always been good, like pointing things out and giving pointers. And they want to push me to get better, and vice versa. I'll help push them, being one of the newer guys come up. So it's just a great cycle that we have and a great environment. They've always just kind of kept reminding me to be positive, and you know, if you want it, you have the tools to do it, just keep working at it, because the national level and international level, things don't come easy. So you're gonna have to work a lot harder if you want to achieve these things.
Game Faces is brought to you by the Paralympic Foundation of Canada. To support Canada's future Paralympians, text PARATOUGH to 45678 to donate $5.
Number 9, Cody Caldwell from Peterborough, Ontario. He's been playing rugby since 2008. He played goal for the junior hockey Peterborough Petes before a diving accident. He was a big part of Para Pan Am Gold for Canada last summer. Now back to the match with Brent Pope at Karaoke Arena, number 1.
The second half in this Group A preliminary match, it feels like a medal game, and it really is, between number 4 and 5 in the world, vying to put themselves into a definite position. For Canada, it would certainly give them that of a top 2 position in the group. For Great Britain, it would keep them alive with the chance with one remaining game to go. And that really is the battle that is going on here. So Canada get the opening score. They had the opening tip, and then the start of the second period went to Great Britain. And now they are ahead by 2 points. So they'll need to be smart, as Roberts quickly will score right back again to just cut it to 1. And his overall scoring today, under the direction of that man Paul Shaw, Roberts is on 12, 17 for Medell, and this now up. It's Hirschfield who takes this into control, and he'll score for the Canadians. So the joint captain of the side now with a couple of goals. They got Medell and Whitehead out there. That has proven to be probably their strongest combination. Almost there. Hirschfield goes in like a serpent's tongue. Tries to just lash that out of his possession. And he recovers it just as quickly, doesn't he, Roberts? into the hands of Medell. Medell, these two just give as best they can to this match. They are the respective leaders. And now that's 18 for the Canadian. And what award hasn't he been winning? Individual accolades aplenty for Zach Medell in his young career. He probably, in many ways, is following in the footsteps of what has been forged by Riley Batt, the Australian, who's highly regarded as the best player in this sport. It comes down to on the day, and equally there are a handful of teams that can all be vying for a gold medal. It's that secondary support that really will determine which teams are going to go the deepest. Roberts, he has his sat-nav locked in. He put the postcode of the Canadian goal line in it as Great Britain back in front by just the one. Big hit there, reaching in. And now some new players. Chris Ryan, the captain for Great Britain, on the floor. And this a little bit more balance from Canada as Samard will score. That's his third. So now the pressure on GB with each of these successive possessions to convert. The passing play is a great one. It's passed up to Roberts. That is important. That linking play. It's one thing to rely on one player to do it, but you have to have the passing game. Caldwell is going to have to go a long ways here. Is he going to run out of time? He needs to be careful. It's into Medell. That's a great pass because Medell has Roberts right on him. And the contact on the arm will lead to a penalty, but that's a risky play because Caldwell spins out and fires that one across, and Medell has the player right against him. And it was Roberts, whose hands are as capable as any on the floor right now. So waiting to battle up and front him. The cross block reaching in. The Canadians are just trying to disrupt this possession. He will have to give it up. This now is going into Jamie Stead. And the feed in. It's a great one into Ryan. Just the handoff. Almost like the baton. And that's a really smart move. Make it easy and simple. Don't try to complicate things. Don't need to be flashy. Just good fundamental rugby. And make certain of possession and control. They're going to have to let Medell just score that one. So you're getting that same feeling again as we saw at the end of the opening half, that this is going to come down to one mistake potentially all the way the length of the floor. Jamie Stead will score just back on the floor. That is so tight, that feed, and it really depends on Caldwell being assertive enough. He gets across in 12 seconds, but he's in a tight jam. That passing hasn't been flawless from the Canadians. Almost stripped. He does so well to protect that before he backs away on that line, that center line, to get it to Medell. Medell will find a way to score from here. You expect it, but Roberts cuts him off at that pass. He'll have to go around the mountain to the other side. Inside to Samard, and he will convert it. It's a good offload. And he's being counted on heavily, is Samard right now. Have not seen Whitehead in a while. Just interesting distribution of the playing time from Kevin Orr. This will be a reflection of how, if they were to get to a medal match, how they would distribute the floor time. Obviously, all depending on health of your personnel. But this has been good work coming on for GB between Stead and Ryan, working with Roberts, and then Coggin out there as well. They've just had a little bit more balance about their play, and they've managed it. They've been smart. Again, Stead comes around. He's controlled on the backside. Hirschfield tries to get to him. Samard just does a little bit of a moonwalk into that position. Stead trying to get around the end. A good block from Ryan. Opens it up again, and there's that 2-point margin. That is really outstanding work. Patient and showing the poise in those pressure moments. That's a great omen for GB. Inside the last couple minutes now of this third period. They turn it over again from behind Stead. And the ball management right now from Canada, it's a little bit leaky. And these are tough to overcome. As Roberts tries to take the air out of the balloon a little bit. When the game is emotional and on edge, that's when Medell really has his engine revving, and that's when he's most dangerous. Roberts with control. Whitehead, another big body. They can use him out there. Can he stop things? They may have. They've just broken it up, and that's important there. And you've seen Whitehead utilized in those goal line stances a couple times in this match. They had a steal earlier, and I expect he will be utilized for the remaining 8. They're going to need a big push now, our Canada. But after 3 periods of play, GB 36, Canada 33, and this is going to go down to the wire.
The Canadians in the crowd, Melissa Hirschfield on the left, co-captain Trevor's sister, as well as Carrie, Addison, and Avery Whitehead, Michael's wife and children, urging the Maple Leaf men on in Rio. Stay with us. Coming up tomorrow on day 9 of the Paralympic Games, Zach Medell and the undefeated Canadian wheelchair rugby team faces Australia. And Germany meets the United States in the women's wheelchair basketball gold medal game.
The Rio 2016 Paralympic Games are brought to you by CIBC, banking that fits your life. By Bell, accessibility just got better. And by Air Canada, official airline of the Canadian Paralympic team.
I'm sure you have no idea what my name is. That's okay, because you haven't seen me anywhere yet. But my day is coming. I'm Virginie Chénier. In Rio, I'm not part of Team Canada. I'm part of tomorrow's Team Canada.
Since 1988, Petro-Canada has supported over 2,700 Olympic and Paralympic hopefuls.
Blood pressure's down.
Less stress in my life.
How so?
I got myself the new CIBC Smart Account. It's a totally new way to bank.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, now I only pay for what I use. And my monthly fee is capped.
I'm glad you're so relaxed. It's going to make this so much easier.
Happy thoughts.
Introducing worry-free banking with the new CIBC Smart Account. CIBC, banking that fits your life.
I pick up a broken comb, running through my favorite hair.
When the best of us steps up,
So I don't have
our nation stands a little taller. We all play for Canada.
Introducing an amazing lineup of accessible devices from Bell, like the hearing aid compatible Doro 824 with a friendly and intuitive interface. With a tactile keyboard overlay, the Doro 824C is designed for those who are blind or have low vision. Chocolate. It even reads text for you. Plus, the Tekla fits to any wheelchair, so it can work hands-free. Bell, accessibility just got better.
Hello there. You're one of the lucky ones to call yourself Canadian. You'll have heroes, but you'll find ways to inspire yourself. You'll love your home, but its borders won't be able to hold you. One day, you'll push out to see the world, make your mark, and fly the flag. And when you leave, they'll remember that smart, helpful, tough, confident Canadian. The world needs more Canada. Let's bring it to them.
The moment, yeah.
50% faith, 50% fear. Now is all that matters, cause the moment is here. One life to live, that's all there is. Will your existence write history or fade like a memory?
The moment, yeah. The moment, whoa, whoa. This is
Wonderful moments this weekend, the culmination of the 15th Paralympic Games. Saturday, day 10, 3 shows. Beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern, men's basketball gold, and the final day in the pool. Sunday, wheelchair rugby, gold and bronze medal matches, plus the closing ceremony at Maracana Stadium. Now we go back to Canada versus Great Britain, fourth quarter.
The fourth period awaits these two sides. It is a Group A matchup of the wheelchair rugby. The players away. It's in, and Roberts safely with control starts this fourth period. And Beletsky is out there as well. Whitehead, Hirschfield, and Medell. It's Coggin, Ryan, Stead, and Roberts to start this one for GB. Have they pushed him out? And they have done that, so it's a turnover. And that's a smart play by Medell. They needed that. You expected GB to go up by 4. And it's now the inbound for Canada. So all of the mistakes that Canada have made in this one, it's Whitehead, who was a big target, offloading to Medell. He will drive forward, and he's gone. He's got away from Roberts early at that halfway point. It's cut to 2. And right there, within 30 seconds, he's suggesting to stay back. He will start to put the pressure on. That's what Medell is instructing to his teammates. I will apply pressure in the right places at the right time here on this GB side and try to get turnovers. He's doing exactly that. He's created enough congestion. The offload, can Whitehead get to it? It's up to Roberts. Great play. And that's just the smarts as they try to get into Roberts. The hitting, the cross block there, advancing it up, and well played by Great Britain. They use the push and pull at the right time. Whitehead was maybe going to pass it long, but they know how to stay with Medell. He's got to come underneath. And the offload over to the big Canadian. And he'll score. It's been a while since he's put one on the board, but that's his 5th in the match. They had a chance to level last time. If they were able to have converted it, they could have taken the lead in this one. But this is to just get it to 39s apiece. Medell takes control. He's trying to get away from that pressure. He bounces it, releases it inside, and it will be Hirschfield to score for Canada. And this is entirely in the balance right now as Hirschfield gets himself 3 goals. And this is, as I've said a number of times, effectively a medal match right now. Who gets the 40 first? You expect it to be Great Britain with Roberts now. It's 4-on-4, up against Whitehead. He'll get through him, and he has enough momentum and the angle to get across that line. So that takes him to an even 20. Paul Shaw looking on anxiously. He really has been quite calm, in fairness, on that GB bench. And he was talking about how difficult it was to watch at that home Paralympics. GB finished 5th. Is that another battle that they might face in this one here? They're both now on 40. That really is what's likely to take place here. If Canada does not win this one, well, then they go to a position where they're reliant on a scoreline between Australia and this group against Brazil as well. So you just lose control of the control you have in this group if you don't win your games, and that's obvious. But Whitehead will receive this one. And from where will this next score come? It's Medell over to Whitehead. He's got double coverage. It almost seems like they've got an extra player out there. That's because wide open is Hirschfield to take a score. And now both sides equally at 41. Whitehead was going to go long and strong. He's done a double dip there with 2 360s, full 720. And here comes Medell. He's always got the option around the end. He knows he can do it himself, so he will score it. So this really is getting very tense. And they really both deserve the opportunity to compete for a medal in Rio. But crushingly, one of them is going to have their story with a little bit of a twist to it right now. Doesn't mean the tournament is over. It just means as we go and we look at the bracket and start doing the math about the total points scored in the games that they've played each other, it's still out there. Now, Great Britain will take the lead again. Kevin Orr shows you exactly what everybody for the Canadians is feeling. That was a dangerous play. I don't even think Hirschfield knew it was coming. Could have easily gone off the back of him. Throw on the brakes one more time, and he's almost like he's sliding on the roads, the snow falling, the ice is on it, and he's skidding, but he finds a way to right the ship and gets that Canadian car back on track, puts the chains on the wheels. In this possession, it could all change. They've got through. It's only back. It's Medel, Boletsky. They're in the back flanks. Whitehead's going to go around, and this is going to be ball management 101. They're going to try to just reduce this score, and then Canada has to be perfect. If they could just keep counting us down. So they have 10 seconds officially on the clock. Have they turned it over? Hirschfield got a touch on it. It's back for Roberts, inside now. And Ryan, Medel's going to try and hunt him down. Turning it over to Buta. Buta will get upended. He'll get thumped at the last second, and Medel will dump him. Medel is trying to get loose. Whitehead can go long. This could be drama. It's going to be drama. Can they get it loose, though? They can't, as the time is going to run out all the way the length of the floor, and we will stay at 45 right to the end of the 32 minutes here now. And this is drama indeed, as it will in fact push on now. And the Canadians thought they had their window right at the end. And how do you like them now as the fourth period plays out and we level up at 45?
It is a nail-biter, and while we wait for overtime, earlier today, men's road racing at beautiful Pontal. Victoriaville's Charles Moreau hit the road in pursuit of another medal in cycling's H3 classification in the road race, covering 60 kilometers over 4 laps. On Wednesday, Moreau, 34, powered his way to a bronze in the time trial, and today he equaled last summer's double bronze medal performance at the Para-Pan Am Games with a bronze in a closely contested race. Bronze medal for Charles Moreau, and here's his reaction.
Yesterday I did good. It was my first bronze medal in Paralympics, but I still expected better from me. I just thought that I could have pushed a little bit more, so that's why I wasn't as thrilled as today. But today with this bronze, the second bronze in these Paralympics, I'm just ecstatic. I couldn't ask for more for today.
Well, the Canadian crowd on pins and needles. Canada, GB, tied at 45. 3 minutes of overtime in wheelchair rugby. Big game in Group A. Here's Brent Pope.
So, the drama continues as we go now to overtime number 1. And these two sides, it's a Commonwealth Classic, as the mother country, Great Britain, against the Canadians. And it looked at a spell like Great Britain was going to teach the Canadians a lesson, but it went into the latter stages and now the 3-minute overtime periods. So Canada already with an opening score. And where will we go from here? Roberts, now number 9, drops the needle. He'll get moving, quickly advanced up to Buta. Buta, who got worked there at the line, he'll score this opening try and goal for Great Britain. And he just got popped by Medel. That really was an outstanding play. And as we look back, as far as one moment of getting it done, Zach Medel really lowered the boom for the Canadians. Coming around with Buta for a second wave of this attack. The only one back is Beletsky. And Whitehead will just concede. You'll let him get this one. So equally again, a couple points apiece in this first overtime period. It's going to go to Medell. They'll link up, and Ryan doesn't see it coming from that backside. Roberts accepts that he's in position, and he just veers off. And you watch Medell a little bit. I wouldn't say he's casual, but he seems pretty relaxed in these moments. And with what's at stake, that is impressive. Hunting from behind, trying to just ram his man into a place where maybe he can control him. It's effectively a handoff to the last runner in a 4x1. That's what you just saw there from Ryan into the lap of Roberts. But it's Buta who will reload. And now the chance of defense coming out from the Canadian support inside Carioca #1 arena. Buta has done it well again. The contact on the arm. Are they just going to count the point, or are they going to send the Canadian to the penalty box? Looks as though here at the moment they're just going to allow that to be a score. So they've been pretty good, in fairness, the officials so far in the tournament, and have allowed the game to really just settle itself and the teams to do so. What drama. The pressure on GB to try to level before the end of it. Roberts into a tight place. They've got Buta open, so he puts it back. And we're at 49 strong. So the official system, as we understood it, we would go to 2 3-minute periods. And then from there, after you play the 2, then it comes down to just 1 period after each other. And that is how it has been put in the books prior to this one. So officially on our system, it's the overtime 1. So that looks to be on course, as right now Medell is holding on to this ball. Hirschfield into Medell. Roberts will just go back and hold. He'll watch on the other side of this formation. He's going to throw the brakes on. He knows he's in trouble. He's got 2 Brits on him. The feed inside to Hirschfield. He'll go across the line. And is that going to be the drama, though, that they need? As it could be. But it is going to be the Canadian result in Group A action right at the end of play as they settle out. And they're the full time score. 5-4. The victory in overtime comes to the Canadians, and the total full-time result 50-49. And this is now how the group will shape out.
Huge and thrilling victory. Canada's next match versus defending champion Australia tomorrow at 6:15 p.m. ET, 3:15 p.m. Pacific. That's streaming live at cbcsports.ca/Paralympics. Let's get some Canadian reaction to the big win over Great Britain.
That was an incredible game. GB's a hell of a team, and they proved it there. And we made it hard on ourselves a little bit, but we showed a lot of fight and a lot of chemistry as a team that we're not going to give up easy. So it was a great game, and we fought right till the end, and we're fortunate enough to pull out the win.
We started fourth quarter like with 3 points down, I think, and we knew we could come back. We've been in those situations before, and we're an experienced group, and we worked hard, managed to come back, go to overtime, and win the game.
Canada plays the last game tomorrow. They know exactly what they have to do. Big night at the pool. Aurélie Rivard, a 3rd gold medal, 400-meter freestyle, again in world record time. No doubt about it, she is a rocket on the rise. And Canada's big Benoit Huot makes it an even 20 medals in his career, a well-earned bronze at 400 meters at Olympic Aquatics Stadium. Great reaction on social media to Benoit's accomplishment. Chef de mission Chantal Petitclerc, ecstatic. The great Kurt Harnett, the chef de mission for Team Canada at the Olympic Games, he checks in with congrats. And 2-time Olympic bronze medalist, the diver, Rosalind Filion, moved to tears because Benoit, her training partner, has 20 medals at the Paralympic Games. Medal standings after 400 of 521 events. China approaching 200 medals, now with 191. Canada added 4 more medals today, a gold and 3 bronze to reach 24. With 3 days remaining, Canada is in 13th place in overall medals. Thanks for watching. Been a big day. We'll see you for number 9 from Rio.